Rent's crazy right now. Groceries keep going up. And somehow your money just disappears every single second. And if you're earning $800, $1,000, $2,000, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the week, you still feel broke. It just doesn't feel like it's enough. It's because your money has no assignment. Most people don't have a money problem, they have a money flow problem. So in this video, I'm going to show you a simple system called the 50-30-20 rule that tells you where every dollar needs to go, gives you an exact formula. Not theory, we're going to build it together, you and me. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to split your income, how to make every dollar work, even on a low income, and how to stop feeling broke, even if you've never felt that before. There was a time in my life where money would hit my account and within days it would just disappear. It was gone. No plan, no structure, just reacting. But when I learned how to assign money, give money a job, an assignment, everything changed. Let me show you what's actually going on for most people. Let me show you why most people feel broke. Okay, this is people's financial house. So we've got we've got a house here. There's a bit of a roof. And we've got 4 windows. This is your financial house. And most people comes in the income window. I'm just going to put an I, the income window, comes into this window in the form of a job, right? And it goes, let's see if I can change colors here. I don't know how to change. Oh, here we go. It goes straight to the outgo window in the form of bills. And poor people think the primary purpose of money is to pay bills. That's what they think the primary purpose of money is. Middle class people have, so this is the income window, this is the outgo window, this is the wealth reducing liabilities window. And middle class people think the primary they get their money in the form of a job, and it goes into their wealth reducing liabilities. They buy things to make themselves look good, and then the rest of it goes to bills and goes in the outgo window in the form of bills. So this is where middle class people go. Rich people have a different idea, have a different plan. They get their money come in the income window, and then they have this. So if you notice, middle class people and this window here, they haven't touched it yet. This is the asset producing window, EP. So income comes in here in the form of a job, and then they put some of it into this window here, the asset producing window. And at first nothing happens. They put some in here, they got to pay their bills, but they put some in this asset producing window, and at first not much happens. And then eventually this asset producing window puts a little money back in this income window, and then they put some more money in this asset producing window, and then a little bit more comes back in, and then eventually over time this window gets bigger and bigger, and it keeps feeding this income producing window here. And that is the house of a rich person. They don't just spend their money on bills or wealth reducing liabilities. They focus on this window here, which is the asset producing window. And this is really key. This is really important, because if you just focus on bills or just focus on wealth reducing liabilities, what are they? Cars, upgrades, whatever. But you start focus on assets that can produce income. What's that? A business, an investment, some stocks, an investment property. There's a whole bunch of different investment vehicles. But if you start putting money in it, eventually they'll start paying you in time. And that's what you need to focus on. Because if you just focus on paying your bills, if you think the only purpose of money is to pay bills, you only live to fulfill what you believe. But if you actually believe that money is there to make you money, grow your money over time, then you actually look for ways to make money grow for you. So that is the different mindsets of the poor, the middle class, and the rich. Now, some of you might have heard of this rule before, the 50, it's not working, 50, 30, 20 rule. I'm going to break it a little bit, and I'm going to make the 50, 30, 10, 10 rule. I like mine better. So this is a simple rule for how to divvy up your money. So the first one here is needs. Right? What's needs? Needs are a roof over your head, food on the table, transport so you can get to work. All those things, they're your needs. They're your basic necessities so that you can survive. Groceries, minimum payments on your home loan, all those sorts of things. That's so you can survive. The second one is wants. This is the little luxuries of life. This is your lifestyle. This is some subscriptions, your gym membership, all those sorts of things. The next one is, next 10 is future. So this is investing. This is what are you doing to grow yourself? Maybe it's through education. Maybe it's through purchasing investment property. Maybe it's through saving so you can save up to buy that house and not rent anymore. This is all your future. This is really key. And the last 10 is give. Give to something. Give to someone other than yourself. These are all percentages. These are all percentages. And it's quite simple. It doesn't matter how much money you earn. Simply live within 50% is needs, 30% is wants, 10% is future, and 10% is give. Now, why do I say 50% is needs? Because if your needs is 100% of everything you've got, it's tight. You've got to increase your income. You've got to go out there and get another job so you can start putting some aside. If your wants are 50% of your income, 60% of your income, that you're living, your lifestyle is too big. Your wants here are taking up too much control of your life, and you need to shrink them. You need to go, okay, I'm living too large. I'm living like I'm a bazillionaire, but really you're not. You've got to really cut back. That's really important. 10% future. You've got to be thinking about your future. It doesn't matter where you are in life, whether you just graduated from high school, whether you're thinking about retirement. You've got to be thinking about your future. The system, the government, they design the pension, right? The pension's a terrible scheme. And it's not meant to fund your retirement. I actually don't think we should retire. I think we should keep working, keep contributing, keep giving back. I don't see anyone retiring in the Bible. That's a different conversation for a different day. But I think this idea that when we get to 65, we're going to kick off our shoes, relax, and just bludge off the government and get a pension, that's just I think insane. It's just crazy. The system isn't designed to benefit you, grow you. People that I know that are living on the pension only, they're struggling. They don't have enough to just live on their basic needs because it's not enough. It's supplementary. It's not designed to be your income. So you've got to be thinking about your future. It doesn't matter where you are. You've got to be putting out some money to the side and give. Why do I say give? Give because give puts it in perspective that there's somebody in the world that is lesser off than you. You're blessed, you've been in a position, you have a job, you have some income, you have some form of something. And I don't care if it's 10%. If you can't do that, do $10, $5, a dollar. It doesn't matter. It's about the habit. And what it does, it changes your focus. Because if you just think, I'm going to consume everything I receive, if I'm going to consume everything, that's just inward. That's me focused. And it's not just about me. It's about how can I help others. If I give $1 to someone, whether I've got $100 or $1,000, if I give something to someone on purpose, because I realize that they're lesser off than me, that I can help them, that changes something in your mind, and it actually shifts something, and it just unlocks a crazy potential for your life. I heard this crazy stat the other day that every dollar given, you receive back $1.60. That's not Christians. That's not specific group of people. That is because you actually unlock something in your brain, in your mind, in society, where you're actually going, no, I can actually give and contribute. I'm not saying to give to get something back. I'm not saying that, but it actually changes your perspective on life. Yeah, so just have a think about that. So you need to give something. But these are some really good basic percentages of what you can give. All right, so that's that. All right, now we need to make something real, because this system only works if you use the right number. So this is where people go wrong. Income. What do you think of when you think of income? Most people think of an income, they think of the money they earned. So they get a job. They might get a job and they're earning, for simplicity terms, they're earning, let's say, earning 100K per year. So they go and they do a budget. They think, oh, cool, I'm earning 100K a year. I'm going to go do a budget on that amount. But in reality, already, you're probably paying roughly 25K in tax, right, to the government. So you actually take home, and plus some other super HEX repayments, other deductions, whatever, you're probably only taking home probably less than 75. But let's just, for simple numbers, let's say you're taking home 75K, right? So that's your actual budget, right? So you actually need to figure out what your actual number is, what your take home is, not your gross, but your take home, and then do those numbers. All right, because if you just go, oh, what do I earn? That doesn't help you. That's just a figure of your imagination at this point in time. After tax, after deductions, what is the money that lands in your account? That's the starting point. I don't really care how much you earn. It's not that important. The important is what you put in your pocket. So if you're watching this and then add all those percentages, figure that out, right? So you can actually do this. If you don't, you open up your app and then you look at it and it's all gone because your numbers are all wrong. Okay, so let's build this together. Let's say you earn $3,000 a month, right? $3,000 a month. All right, that's your take home. So we're going to spend 50%. So sorry, this is $3,000. So 1,500 on needs. All right. Oh, sorry. So this is on needs. So this is your rent, your food, right? Your transport. That's all. Okay. Then you're going to spend $900 a month on wants, right? Subscriptions, eating out, all those little treasures you have, having coffee, all those things that we don't need, gym memberships, right? All that stuff that we don't actually need, but we want. Um, $300 on your future. So I want you to be putting $300 aside. I want you to invest, look at stocks, look at investment properties, look at side hustles, look at opportunities to invest in yourself. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a course, maybe it's looking at an education where you can grow and get more skills to be more valuable in the marketplace. These are opportunities. And I want you to give another 300. Maybe it's a church, maybe it's a charity, maybe it's to the homeless, maybe it's people overseas that don't have as much as us. You've all seen those ads on TV where people, are struggling. Putting that money to something else really helps you go, actually, no, there's actually someone worse off than me, and I'll have the opportunity to give something. It's not complicated. It's not a complicated spreadsheet. It's quite simple. No guessing, just clear. It's real clear. It's outlined right there. Notice that we didn't earn more money. We still had the same $300. We just took control of it. We gave it a purpose. Most people don't do this. They don't need more money. They actually just need a better plan. Okay, now some of you are looking at this and going, there's no way 50% can cover everything. And you're probably right. Your needs is probably 60, 70, 80% right now. And if that's the case, maybe you need to earn more money. Maybe you need to bring down your needs. Maybe you need to get rid of that car payment that you don't need. So sell that car payment, get rid of that debt, and buy a car that you can actually pay cash for. And then that gets rid of those payments for that car. I think car payments are a terrible idea. It's just burning money. That's my opinion. But start with the big ones. Housing. Can you share? Can you negotiate? Can you have a housemate? Transport. As I said, car. Can you catch the train? Can you catch public transport? Can you ride to work? Food. Can you cook more at home instead of eating out? Subscriptions. What can you cut? What can you cut back? Phone plans. I have a yearly phone plan. It cost me like $189 for the year. Done. Once a year, done. Some people spend $100 a month on a phone. I just can't fathom it. Anyway, you don't need to change everything, but you need to start freeing up $50 here, $100 there a week. It needs to change. Debt. If you've got high interest debt, you need to tweak the system. I would tweak the system, change this here once. This here, I would probably halve it and put it on your needs here. Your needs being your debts. You need to wipe out those debts. The debt is stealing your future income. It needs to go. Mortgage debt is okay. Credit card debt, personal loans, they're all eating you just need to get rid of them as quickly as possible. It doesn't matter if you've got a variable income, whether you earn $1,000 this week, next week's $2,000, the week after there's $1,500, next week, the week after that's $3,000. It doesn't matter. Still applies this same principle here, right? You just apply it. I got $1,000 this week, 50%, 30%, 10-10. I earned $2,000, 50%, 30%, 10-10. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter. Automate as much as possible. Having bills going out automatically out of your account helps you free up your mind. You don't have to think about it. I set aside, have an account set for bills. I transfer the money in there. Money goes out. Don't have to think about it. It's so easy. There's apps and that sort of thing as well. Common problems. Let me quickly fix a few things that come up. I keep overspending. This problem is your system is too loose and you need to tighten things up. Not have too many limits. Unexpected bills come up. You just need to think about, write down every single bill. Your rego comes around once a year. Your insurance comes around once a year. Your phone plan's probably monthly. You need to your subscriptions probably come out monthly. You just need to really think about what's coming. Your utilities come out quarterly. You've got to really break this down, list them out, have an account for bills, and go, okay, it's actually going to cost me 10 grand a year, 15 grand a year, whatever it is. Figure it out. If it's going to cost me 10 grand a year, I've got to be putting $200 aside every week into that bills account, and then having all the bills automate out of there. You've really got to go down and do the numbers. It's really important. It just frees up your mind. You've got to have a buffer. You've got to have an emergency account, emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, really setting that aside. Okay, let's bring this home. Now you have a simple plan, 50, 30, 10, 10, right? You've got to have that. You've got to survive, enjoy life, build your future, and give to others. And when every dollar has an assignment, that's when your life starts to change. You don't rise to your financial numbers, your life, because when you assign it, your numbers rise to your assignment, what you're giving it to. Because you can take control of your money. You are in control of your money, and you just have to give it an assignment. So start taking control today. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you on the next video. Cheers, bye.